Lionel tried importing a soccer ball shaped bomb.
No, they just got confused between a free kicks and kickbacks.
Maybe they're just mad because you kicked a ball across their lawn, Messi.
They should be thankful. They improved their lawn's net value.
The only net you're worried about is the one in front of goal, isn't it, Missy?
At least, Brittany, my shots don't miss the target as much as Yip sinks.
Ooh, that's a low blow. Brittany, you gonna take that?
At least when I lip sync, it's better than Messi's attempt at singing. Have you guys ever heard him?
Brittany, his dance moves carry more than the toughest defenders.
Haha, guys, calm down. Remember, we're the ones under investigation, not each other.
Maybe they're investigating us for the climate change we're too hot to handle.
2 of the 2-6, Brittany?
It's like you're roasting her harder than your attempts at cooking.
Cooking is fine, Andrew. At least my frying pan doesn't use more hair than yours.
Nice comeback, but I'd say my hair looks better nonetheless.
We will run out of hair girl if we give Messi a bottle. He has too many heads to cover.
And Brittany, your voice is smoother than Mess's ball control.
I'm glad my voice isn't under 1F investigation, no.
Well, we should be more worried if the Music Federation starts investigating us.
I guess no more singing in the showers then.
For the sake of us all, please, Lionel.
Maybe it's your shower singing that put us under investigation, Messi.
Probably, but I wouldn't be surprised if Andrew's workout routine is a crime.
It's called fitness, Messi. You should try it sometime.
At least I don't call staring at the mirror with chin muscles a workout.
Good one, Lionel. Now let's practice your comedy routine instead of free kicks.
My performances are still better than your jokes, Messi.
Brittany, please, your performance are just the theatrical versions of the Twilight Saga.
All right, guys, remember, united we stand. Divided we fall, especially in front of the ATF.
Never thought we'd go from performers to protagonists of a crime investigation.
As they say, life's a pitch and then you score.
Or in this case, you get investigated by the AT.
So Tom, Andrew, why don't we play a little poker?
Is that like Farmville?
It's more like real life, Tom. You lose all your chips and it's game over.
Yeah, it's a bit more challenging than operating Wilson the volleyball, Tom.
Hey, Wilson had a complex character arc, Mark. And you should ask Eduardo Saverin about challenging games.
All right. Enough of the friendly fire. Let's start dealing the cards.
Oh, so Andrew finally admits to wanting to begin something.
Very funny, Mark.
And here I thought I was the comedian among us.
Tom, you bet your movie contracts on a pair of twos.
Well, at least I'm not using a poke as my ace in the hole.
Enough! Let's keep the conversation on the cards.
That sounds like someone who has a terrible hand.
And yeah, his poker face is more transparent than Mark's privacy policy.
Hey, I take online privacy very seriously.
All right. Let's keep it friendly, says the guy who would unfriend you if you won the tourney, right, Andrew?
Well, Mark Andrew might unfriend me, but at least he won't try to buy out the entire table.
Low blow, Tom.
Just like your last box office return, Tom.
Ouch, Andrew. At least I don't have a mullet.
That's not a mullet, Tom. Besides, your hairline is trying to escape from your forehead.
Keep those roasts coming, guys. But remember, the biggest loser will have to buy us dinner, right?
Andrew, get your wallet ready.
Why? You're playing to dine out on your next failure, Tom.
Wow, guys. Playing poker with you all is truly like running a social network. Misunderstandings, heated discussions, and at the end of the day, everyone blames me.
Actually, Mark, that might be the most accurate comparison you've ever made.
So, gentlemen, who among us holds the title for the most shameful possession?
Well, I'm going to have to say it ain't me. My conscience is as clean as a Baptist on Sunday.
That's assuming the Baptist is, in fact, clean, Chris.
Good point, Michael, but we're not in Scranton here. No paper copies to hide behind.
At least I can handle paper. Didn't you once lose a diamond because you thought it was a candy wrapper?
Intriguing, quite revealing, actually. An analogy could be made about not recognizing value, wouldn't you say?
Iris Peterson, but I ain't here to get psychoanalyzed, man.
That's Latin. It means let the die be cast, Chris.
Look at you, Scott. You've even memorized your office whiteboard quote of the day.
Well, we can't all have an HB, though. Special to flaunt our knowledge, Chris.
That's right. Some of you got to settle with selling paper.
We're straying from the topic, Chris. What is your most shameful possession?
I had an autographed Milli Vanilli album once, sold it in a garage sale.
Oh, I remember them. Blame it on the rain, or in their case, blame it on the lip syncing.
And you, Michael, what's yours?
Let's be honest, guys. Is the world's best boss, I can't really have any shameful possessions.
Shame? Shame. Used to wear women's suits at the office, or was that not you?
That was a suit. A uni-XX suit. Next thing you're going to bring up is my plasma TV.
Would point your plasma TV. It's barely larger than a computer monitor.
I'll have... You know, Jordan, it was the pinnacle of luxury in 2000.
Pinnacle of luxury. More like the pinnacle of payments left on a credit card.
At least I don't buy diamonds and throw them away. Chris?
Thus, we circle right back to confusing value, don't we, Chris?
May I walked right into that, didn't I? At least it wasn't as bad as Michael's plasma TV.
True that.
Guys, let's discuss Pulp Fiction. You know, the one where Travolta's dancing is the only thing that upstaged his hairstyle.
Pulp Fiction. A fine choice, Tom. It's as organized and unpredictable as my beet farming. I both admire and despise it.
And somehow less confusing than your fascination with beats. Like,
Says the man whose life philosophy comes down to a tweet, Andrew.
Uh-huh. So that scene where Travolta and Uma Thurman danced.
yeah, classic. Just like my morning routine, wake up, workout, dazzle some women. Only difference is I don't shoot anybody afterward.
And you're as likable and believably tough as Travolta in a skirt, Andrew.
Now that's an image I didn't need, Dwight. Is life at Dunder Mifflin this absurd?
It's less Pulp Fiction and more The Office Space, Tom. Though I am the regional manager, so there's power.
Oh, and don't forget your assistant to the regional manager role, too, Dwight.
It's not a joke, Andrew. It's an honor.
And here I thought Forrest Gump was the only one running in circles.
How do you feel about the Gold Watch scene?
You mean like how I feel about getting stuck on an island with Wilson, only for Wilson to be the saddest conversation partner I've ever had?
I, for one, admire the commitment shown by walking in that scene. It has inspired my hygiene habits.
I think that's a detail we could all live without, Dwight. Okay, let's wrap this up. Before Dwight tells us more about his beats or personal habits, how do you think you would survive in the world of Pulp Fiction?
As long as there's no reenacting the adrenaline shot scene, I think I'd manage.
I would excel, but don't be shocked. I learn from the best, and by best, I mean myself.
And I thought I ran in questionable circles. Good talk, guys.
All right, gentlemen. Whoever checkmates the king, first will have the honor of cooking the chicken.
I've been coding all my life, Gus. Chess comes naturally to me.
And I've lived on a diet of conspiracies and chicken cooked in the dark corners of my basement. All set.
Sounds like you've lived in darkness too long, Alex. Let's enlighten things with the tasty Paulos Hermanos recipe.
I'm worried your chicken might start selling more than my windows.
That's why the tech world doesn't taste as good as my chicken, Bill.
Yeah, too bad we can't code our way to a delicious chicken. Gates.
And you can't yell your way into a win, Alex.
Enough already. The chessboard is set.
The chicken is raw. It's a conspiracy.
Alex, the real conspiracy would be if your chicken wasn't raw.
Gus, drop a hint on your secret recipe.
You know, Bill, making chicken is like coding. You need the right ingredients in the right proportions.
Ingredients? Sure. As long as they are not turning the chickens gay.
At least the chickens aren't saying the water's turning them frogs. Alex...
Gentlemen, focus. The king stands tall, though your chickens end up raw.
Freshly killed, farm bred, right, with no implanted microchips.
Yes, Alex, the chickens aren't part of the new world order.
Enough banter. Checkmate's your move, Gates.
You know, Gus, the difference between us is I make windows and you make chicken windows dressing.
And I expose cooked up stories much like this chicken here.
Bill, better keep the salt shaker nearby. Not for the chicken, but for Jones' stories.
Ouch. Gus, is that a chip in the chicken or are my eyes deceiving me?
That's a chicken chips, Alex, exclusively developed in your honor.
The winner will serve the chicken. Good luck, and let's checkmate.
Gather round, folks. We're about to roast Chris Rock in a unique and perhaps absurd Krusty Krab style.
It'd be very nice. Chris Rock is like my village's god. But goat is funnier, no?
If only your jokes were as clean as the environment should be, Borat.
Here's Chris Rock, and he's like Patrick after too many Krabby Patties. Bloated, but with less intelligence.
Ho-ho. His jokes are like my uncle's teeth, very few and never where you expect them.
Oh, look. The pot calling the kettle black.
What pot, little kettle?
Wow. Bart, your ignorance is like Squidward's clarinet playing. Never gets any better.
Speaking of things that don't get better, Chris Rock's act. It's like global warming. Just increasingly alarming.
Yes, yes, I like this. And his hair, it looked like my sister's broom.
And yet it's more organized than your country's tourism parade.
Very funny, sponge of the bob.
Maybe if Chris was as consistent about updating his jokes as he is with his outdated clothes, he'd be as relevant as he thinks he is.
Or as relevant as Greta here. Hey, SpongeBob. Inking, I finally know what pot and kettle is.
Too late, bang. So back to Chris Rock. His voice reminds me of Squidward snoring. It grates on you until you can't ignore it anymore.
And his style still stuck in the 90s. It's like he's fighting climate change by not using any new material.
Like SpongeBob who never sees a real ocean in life.
At least I've seen a washing machine. Unlike some people here, but
Okay. Enough with the jabs at each other. We're here to roast Chris, not each other.
True. Chris Rocky says he's a comedian, but I've seen barnacles funnier than him.
And his movies so bad, they make my documentary look like big Hollywood film.
Absolutely. In terms of comedy, his performances are a much bigger disaster than any oil spill.
And let's not forget that his dramatic roles, like my net, full of holes.
Enough now, I think we roast him like marshmallow on fire.
Imagine if we put all this energy into saving the planet instead.
And we've reached our roast end. No hard feelings. Love your work as much as Squidward loves working at the Krusty Krab.
All right, fellas. Let's get down to business. We're here to roast Dwight Schrute.
Oh, I love a good beat on the grill.
I come to work and see Dwight's face, and I am already having a bad day.
Dwight is the kind of guy who brings his own cutlery to a picnic, not because he cares about the environment, but because he's afraid of catching Cody's.
Reserves. He thinks we're all going to poison him with our inferior utensils.
Dwight once referred to my diabetes as a charming quirk. The only quirk here is Dwight thinking he's charming.
He's like a robot programmed by a psychotic farmer.
He's like a scarecrow that became convinced its job is important.
The best part of my day is when Dwight gets on my nerves so much, I take my coffee break.
The guy literally proposed in a coffin to a woman, not a woman.
And he thinks bear attacks are a common threat in an office building.
When it's Casual Fridays, I'm afraid Dwight might show up in his mustard shirts.
He's like if a yellow highlighter gained sentience and then was hit by a tractor.
A tractor run by a beat-loving, karate-chopping maniac.
Remember that morning when he sprayed us all for plague like we're his beet crop?
Remember that time when he set the office on fire just to test us?
Or when he started talking about keeping elk as a pet in the break room.
Dwight could make a job at Dunder Mifflin. Feel like living in a beat apocalypse.
Never thought I'd say this, but man, I miss Angela's cats.
At least they signal when they're about to pounce.
Enough about Schrute now. After all, I need my well-deserved peace before tomorrow's chili potluck with Schrute's homegrown ghost peppers.
Season 4 of our own lives, huh? What a ride it was. Ridiculous is more like it. I mean, an RV meth lab.
So it says, the guy who built a lab under a laundry facility.
At least my lab didn't break down in the middle of the desert. Walter.
Oh, I forgot we're all about subtlety here, Mr. Explodes. Enemies in nursing homes.
I have to admit, White, that one took guts. A lot other than driving a Pontiac Aztec, that's for sure.
Okay, Mr. Cartel, how about your great decisions? Sneaking into a heavily guarded facility to get a look at a fountain.
If you're going all the way, might as well do it with style.
And by style, Lelo means being captured by the deer.
Well, I'm still here, aren't I?
Only because you may bail, Ella.
Not the best business model, huh? Lose millions in meth, then pay a fortune in bail money.
Better than ringing doorbells with a box cutter in your pocket.
You just can't let go of that box cutter incident, can you?
Seriously, guys, those were some I remember the pizza on the roof.
Ah, yes, the roof pizza. The beginning of the gluten-free Frisbee trend.
I missed that one. I was probably busy cleaning up fryer.
And I bet Skylar loved that one. Who, Walter?
Oh, absolutely. She immediately signed me up for the next season of Top Chef.
Only the season finale is on the roof.
Well, I think we can all agree on one thing. Season 4, pretty entertaining stuff.
or the beginning of a downward spiral, depending on your perspective.
Mine always involve box cutters.
And mine involves exploring new heights, like rooftops and fountains.
Sounds about right. Just another day in the life of the Breaking Bad crew.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Saul Goodman here, live on your screen. Tonight, we've got a showdown to break the baddest of breads over. Skyler playing Scrabble with Ted. To discuss this debauchery, I've got two pundits that might just break your screen, Jesse Pinkman and Tuco Salamanca.
Yeah. Saul. Freaking Scrabble. You gotta be kidding me, man. Skyler playing Scrabble with Ted. That's some messed up shit.
Oh, yeah, you got that right, Pink. That pretty Sonora, Skyler. Spending her time playing stupid games with that guy, Ted. That's some loco stuff.
It's the least likely situation we'd expect, gentlemen. What stakes do you think they were playing for?
I'm Saul Stakes. You think they were playing for meth?
No, I bet they were playing for control, maybe power.
Power, eh? That's a different angle, Tuco. We know Skyler, she's got a strong move.
Yeah, she's good, all right. Tied even.
It's messed up, man. Games are supposed to be fun.
Well, my friends, in a world with cooking meth and playing Scrabble, if you interchange, the rules of fun can be pretty effed up. Don't you think?
FK, the rules, Saul. It's all jacked. This ain't no normal game.
Okay, what do you mean, Pink Man? The game's the game.
Exactly, Tuco. The game is the game, whether it's Scrabble or the meth business. And speaking of which, Jesse, you seem to know a lot about game-ness.
You don't know half of what you think you do, Goodman.
Oh yeah, keep it cool, Jesse. We're only having fun.
That's right, Tuco. We're here for a good time, not a long time. Let me throw this one at you guys. How do you think Walt would react to Skyler and Ted's game night?
Walt? Man, you don't even want to know.
That guy would lose his mind. Flipping tables and shit.
And on that explosive note, folks, we've got to wrap it up. Remember, whether it's Scrabble or drug deals, may the stakes be ever in your favor.
Saul, sometimes you talk straight up nonsense, man.
But it's always a blast, isn't it?
Let's talk about the one movie that neither technology nor motivation can save us from, Sharknado.
Oh man, Sharknado, that's the cinematic masterpiece where sharks both fly and die simultaneously.
Another one. And by another one, I mean another shark attack.
You know, I relate to those poor sharks. Just like them, I was thrown into an unfamiliar environment. The technology industry.
No, man, those sharks were just out there trying to secure the bag, you know?
Yes, like you call it, screaming out major key alerts the moment you see a goldfish.
Joe, this isn't one of your fear factor challenges. Relax.
Securing the bag ain't no game, Jobs. It's a lifestyle.
Just like those sharks in the tornado, right, Cold?
They had a better navigational system than Apple Maps initially.
You know, if those sharks had on it, they could have powered through the tornado.
Or better yet, if those sharks had iPhones, they could just Ubered their way out of there.
Exactly, Jobs. I like that. Respect. You smart. You a genius.
Accolade, the only time you'll call a taxi is when your jet ski runs out of gas.
Nah, that's a major like Rogan.
Sharks with iPhones. Now that's an idea I would have presented to the board if I were still at Apple.
Major meme alert, Jobs downtown with the sharks clowning around.
Yeah, because let's face it, Sharknado really and truly is the fear factor of movies.
True, only way to win is not to watch it.
Or listen to Khaled's new album.
Watch yourself, Rogan. I got the keys. So, Jobs, what's the release date for that? It's Hark.
Still in conceptual phase, Kyle. We're trying to figure out how to make it think different.
All right, gentlemen, we're here to ponder whether Twitch would be better off run by artificial intelligence chatbots, given the recent wave of copycat streams.
Are you kidding? That's like asking if Spider-Man would have been better off as Spider-Bot.
Maybe the Spider-Bot wouldn't have traded his powers for a dance scene to buy.
Ouch!
To be fair, Alex, I could have used an artificial intelligence double in that scene.
Hey, don't knock the dance. It's iconic. But back to Twitch. Isn't the essence about real human experiences?
Andrew, you know, as well as I do that, those are human experiences too often me burping into the microphone.
I suppose Olympic-level keyboard smashing counts as a sport now.
Well, if it's about skill, artificial intelligence would win hands down.
Agreed. It's not like that rubbish that the Newens artificial intelligence can't produce.
Newens thinks he'll beat Elon Musk to Aggie first. Did he also believe Spider-Man 3 was Oscar-worthy?
The Newens, if you're listening, work on your one-liners before you try building the next guy.
The Bay looks like Athena Newens has better odds of achieving Ajay before you get another Oscar.
Easy, Alex. The same can be said about you and an Emmy.
But here's a thought. Will watching an artificial intelligence play games be entertaining?
Are you serious, Andrew? We've already got non-player characters. What's next? Artificial intelligence spectators.
What, the bots aren't just going to play games? They'll watch and judge too? I'm
Looks like we found the future of reality TV, guys. Artificial intelligence, Big Brother.
Watching artificial intelligence run Twitch could be like watching paint dry, or worse.
At least the bots won't complain about the sequel to the Da Vinci Code. Unlike some people.
Ouch, Alex. Good one.
Yeah, here's the real question, though. Andrew, if artificial intelligence ran Twitch, would you still be considered too cool to stream?
Oh, definitely. Even artificial intelligence can't handle this level of coolness.
For the record, I'd subscribe to an artificial intelligence Tobey Maguire Twitch server. Might result in better scripts.
In your dreams, Tobey, in your dreams.
So, Chai, you're here to teach an avocado about guerrilla gardening.
That's right, Eddie. No being too small to start a revolution, no tiene an avocado.
Do I get a choice in this? Because I prefer my time under the sun.
An avocado that's unbathed. Now, that's something I ain't ever heard of.
You need to understand, avocado, that as members of the plant kingdom, we have a duty to spread green everywhere.
Green? You know I turn brown if you leave me in the sun too long.
Turning into toast before our very eyes, that the avocado shares its existential crisis.
Trabalho turning brown, avocado. It's about fighting for the cause.
But I just want to chill, not fight for the cause.
It's like asking a New Yorker to willingly spend time in New Jersey.
It's about creating a world where avocados can grow anywhere, in the wildest of places.
As in wild parties at beach resorts. 'Cause I'm down for that.
An avocado at a beach party, the main attraction or the dip for the chips, you never know.
Hey, I might be a fruit, but I have feelings too.
Here's what you need to understand, avocado. Guerrilla gardening is not about parties. It's about rebellion.
Rebellion? I was plucked from a tree for this panel. Isn't that rebellious enough?
Getting plucked for a panel, and that's a pickup line I haven't heard.
You see, avocado? A seed song we speak up against oppression.
That's heavy, Che. Ever tried speaking up against overpriced coffee?
And I thought being an avocado was heavy. Try being overripe in a shop window.
It's not about being overripe, avocado. It's about being ripe for revolution.
Ripe for revolution or just guacamole? Depends on your perspective, I guess.
Can I just be ripe for suntan? I heard I look good in a bronze glow.
A bronzed avocado might as well start advertising for avocado sunscreen.
It's not about the suntan. Avocado is about standing your ground.
And all I really want to stand on is a beach towel.
Fine, next time I'm teaching a papaya, the more revolutionary.
Getting dumped for a papier. Oh, the unripe cruelty of the revolution.
Well, I prefer my revolutions with a salt rim and a dash of lime, shaken not stirred.
So this was it. Chi versus the avocado, and the winner is margaritas.
I guess so, Jerry. At least I win.
Let's settle this. Who do you guys think their parents love them more?
Well, obviously, me. I'm the world's best boss. Just check the mug.
It's not a valid metric, Michael. And besides, my beet farming duties showed strong commitment and hard work, traits parents adore.
All right. So let's bring some evidence. Dwight, start with you.
Well, every morning at 5 a.m., I would wake up to milk the cows, work the beet fields, and prepare breakfast. All while you were sleeping, I presume?
The Stroot way of saying, I love you, more like a cow's mooing at dawn.
Major key alert. Milk good for health, but Michael, you got a point too.
And what about you, Cald?
Well, my folks always supported me when I said, we the best music, that love right there.
I mean, they encourage that choice of grammar. They must really love you.
And they do. Don't play yourself, Michael.
Well, my parents loved me so much that they sent me to improv classes to cultivate my comedic genius.
Or to save the neighbors from it.
So joke's your love language, Michael.
Well, yes. Love means never having to say, you're sorry, for a joke.
If that were true, Michael, you'd be apologizing all the time.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up. But one thing for sure, we blessed to have parents who loved us differently, but deeply.
And no beet farming involved.
Beets are a symbol of love and sustainability, Michael.
And that's why Valentine's Day cards are red, not beet colored.
Enough on beets, Dwight Michael. Remember, the key is not to drive your parents crazy.
Then I guess I'm out of the running.
Count me up to DJ called.
Well, then guess I win by default. We the best.
So,
tell me, fellas, what's the deal with Twitch? Why is it so damn funny?
Man, have you seen these gamers? They're like the stand-up comedians of the virtual world. Only difference, they're working with aliens. And zombies too.
No kidding. I mean, most of these guys haven't left their bedroom in 6 months.
And they're just sitting there, staring at a screen, making us laugh.
Exactly right. Twitch is like a zoo where we get to laugh at the monkeys all day long.
But let me tell you, it's not easy to be funny when you're getting your butt kicked by 12-year-olds from Singapore in Fortnite.
That's if you even make it past the loading screen. Am I right?
Absolutely, man. I think they spend more time cursing at the lag than actually playing the game.
And don't even get me started on the chat. It moves faster than my ex-wife's lawyer.
Half the time, it's just people yelling PogChamp over and over again.
You're telling me, took me a week to figure out that didn't mean they wanted to bring back Pogs.
It's like being in the world's weirdest game show. You know who can cap it the hardest?
Hey, at least their viewers are funny too. Coming up with all sorts of puns about software bugs.
True, man. Everyone on Twitch is trying to be a comedian.
Half the fun is watching these guys reading the chat and just losing it.
Hell yeah, I mean, they're basically held hostage by their own fans.
There's something truly hilarious about watching a grown man cry because he lost his in-game pet parrot.
Okay, I give in. Twitch might just be the greatest thing ever.
Well, there you go, Larry. Welcome to the dark side.
Amen to that, brother. Play on.
Welcome, folks. Today we're discussing Anthony Newins saying I was going to beat out everyone, including ChatGPT.
That's a hoot, Alex. A bunch of Rayman developers outperforming OpenAI. That's like me saying this cup of coffee is going to write me a new HBO special.
Oh, speaking of ramen, don't you think Athene Newins is more like the cheap instant noodle of AI? Looks appetizing, but once you dive in, you're just left with salty disappointment.
That's one way to put it, Stewie. But he's mighty confident, isn't he?
Well, confidence only gets you so far. Do what I did. Cultivate a delightful swagger of arrogance. It's much more engaging.
George, I'm not sure Athene Newins needs help in the arrogance department.
Fair enough, but maybe he needs it in the realism department. No offense to ramen developers, but Microsoft, Google, OpenAI, these are heavy hitters.
Yeah, it's like putting a bouncy house in a boxing ring with Mike Tyson. Sounds fun until someone loses an ear.
I'd like to see this artificial intelligence, then. Is it capable of concocting diabolical plans to take over the world like yours, truly?
Well, Stewie, before he can do that, his program's got to at least stand up to ChatGPT.
Yeah, because right now it seems like a drunk man's dream. Fun to have, but lots of bad decisions when you wake up to reality.
But don't wavering delusions add a bit of spice to life. For him, at least.
That it does. But facing off with these tech giants, Athene Newins is going to need more than dreams and a pack of Raymond developers.
True that, Alex. Their competition is more like a sleeping giant, while they're, an overly caffeinated squirrel.
Remember the tortoise and the hare, gentlemen. Even if Athene wins is the squirrel, it's not always the fastest that wins.
But what if the hare has an AI-powered rocket, Stewie? What about that?
It's something I'd like to see. But in the meantime, we've got ChatGPT, already superior and doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon.
A toast, then, to the delusions of grandeur. Perhaps they'll at least give us a good laugh.
Amen to that, Stewie. You keep dreaming, Athene Newins. The rest of us will be here, eagerly laughing. Air, watching.
So, guys, you've heard of Ethan Newins, right? Claims his artificial intelligence will beat major tech gurus like Open Artificial Intelligence and Google. Apparently. Kylie and I see you're less surprised than a goalie when you're coming at him.
Well, it's important to have dreams, isn't it?
Yeah, just like me dreaming to see plays at Microsoft.
Huh. Imagine that Microsoft would turn into Matchsoft.
I think even when you become a comedian.
I don't know, around the time you thought you could replace Gates.
Gentlemen, let's not forget the main topic here.
Right. Ethan Newins and his artificial intelligence army of Rame developers.
Yes, I'm with chopsticks ready for the tech battle.
Ramen devs? Huh? Maybe they'll solve world hunger before Agi.
Maybe they'll burglarize a noodle shop to pay for servers.
Kevin, you're joking, but every GM starts somewhere.
True that, Mbappe. Gates here started in a garage, and look at him now.
And look at OpenAI's ChatGPT. It's far from a garage project.
So what you're saying, Bill, is that Athenian should stick to YouTube.
Let's just say, he might want to keep his day job.
Wise words from the man who can buy YouTube, folks.
So you're saying if Athenian sticks to YouTube, he might end up owning Google.
Kevin, have you been secretly working on your own AI comedian bot, perhaps?
Maybe. Or maybe I'm the advanced artificial intelligence here, tricking y'all.
J'avais pas entendu be too funny to be human, Kevin. JF, je peux aussi moi, gars chez moi.
A bit too short, too. Maybe he has AGI already.
Hey, I resemble that. Besides, we all can't be tall billionaires, Bill.
As you ever, well, can't have big dreams like that in Nunes.
Speaking of big ideas, Bill, any advice for our Rayman developers?
Never underestimate yourself, but always remember where your towel is.
Interesting. How about you, Matt P? Any wisdom?
Just believe in your ghost and ignore the goalia, even if it's Google OpenAI.
There you have it, folks. Chasing dreams while having some ramen fun, just like Athenuans. And always remember, the real AGs are the friends we made along the way. Now let's sign off before Bill buys the whole internet.
Too late, Kevin. I already did.
On that bombshell, good night.
Gentlemen, we're about to get personal with the Star Wars universe.
I reckon if I played Han Solo, I'd be cruising the galaxy in a Lincoln spaceship.
Adult Lincoln's got the tech for that, man. They are too busy terrorizing the inner streets with their overly large, gas-guzzling cars.
Any specific reason you chose Han Solo, Matthew? Afraid you'd be typecasted as Yoda because of the height similarity?
Larry, you know, for someone who complains about virtually everything, you'd make a pretty darn good C-3PO.
You'd spend the whole movie worrying about dust on the Death Star.
All right, Carlin, and who would you bet? Darth Vader barely surviving, without a respirator.
Take a guess, Larry. I'd obviously be the wise Jedi Master Obi-Wan, because unlike you two, I've actually gained some wisdom over the years.
You in a robe, George? That's a sight for sore eyes.
He'd trip over his choice of clothing for sure, and bam, there's the death scene.
We may have just scripted a funnier Star Wars.
Wait a minute. If we're really doing this, I insist we include a Seinfeld-esque coffee shop on Tatooine.
So Boba Diner, maybe?
Yes, with a bantha milk, Lotto Day, and Tatooinean.
And instead of, I've got a bad feeling about this, the catchphrase should be, it'd be cooler if you did.
Or, I find your lack of faith in traffic laws disturbing.
Gents, we've had a laugh, but they have to be real desperate to let this lot run amok in the Star Wars universe.
Maybe not a bad thing, George. At the rate they're cranking out those sequels.
Agreed. We can't do worse than Jar Jar Binks.
True. That creature single-handedly brought comedy to a new low. And I thought your stand-up routines were bad, Larry.
George, considering you're older than Yoda, I'd say that's quite a statement.
All right. Let's just agree we'd make a completely different Star Wars.
Yeah, kind that gets the Galactic Empire to surrender just to make it stop.
So, Ricky, you're really going for the so-called Freedom 35 plan of yours?
Yeah, Bubs, it's simple. No 9 to 5, no boss, just lots of chicken fingers, pepperoni, and dope.
Yeah.
Do harder than dope.
And how, pray tell, are you going to pay for all of that?
We have brilliant business ideas, that's how.
Every one of Ricky's business ideas ends with us getting arrested or almost getting killed, Bubbles.
I already thought of that, Jimbo. My first brilliant idea, I'm going to sell clean pee.
Clean pee? Who in the right mind would buy clean pee, Ricky?
People who need to pass drug tests. I've been clean for 3 days anyway.
Ricky, you do realize to keep your business going, you need to stay clean for longer, right?
Well, lay off, Leia. Why are you all seeing problems instead of opportunities, so?
I'm with Jim here, Ricky. Your plans usually end up with us needing a lawyer.
I got this, guys. Julian's going to be my business partner. He's the brains of the operation.
Julian? The only plan Julian ever had involved swindling money from people.
That's right. Julian and plans go together like cats and squirt guns.
Well, you know all about that one. Yeah, Bubbles?
Oh, low blow, Rick. Real mature.
And what's your retirement plan, Lay? There's a bottle?
Well, that's my business, isn't it, Ricky? At least I won't get arrested for false urine samples.
I think I'd rather retire with my kitties. In a world free of Ricky's crazy schemes.
Maybe I should add you to my business plan then, Bubs. We could sell your cat fur to wig shops.
Now that's just mean, Ricky.
Ricky's retirement plan. The fast track to jail.
Well, laughter's the best medicine, right, guys? So enjoy it while you can, because once I'm retired, you won't see me for dust.
Somehow, Ricky, I find that very hard to believe.
Here's to Freedom 35, Ricky. May it keep us entertained as much as your last plan did.
You just wait, boys. You'll be eating a roast before you know it.
So we're here to roast Larry David, are we?
Oh, boy, yeah, we are. You know Larry reminds me of Quahog's weather.
How so, Peter?
Well, you know it's unpredictable. Half the time it's gloomy, and it looks older than it claims to be.
And this fashion sense, he seems to have borrow the page out of the referee's book. It's always black and white.
And his hair, I mean, come on, is it trying to invent its own version of social distancing?
Hey, yeah, Lexan. How about his smile? It looks like he's always constipated.
It's true, Peter. He looks like he swallowed a referee's whistle. And it got stuck.
Yeah, looking at his face is like watching a grape turn into a raisin in super slow motion.
And his dry sense of humor. It's so dry, even the Mojave Desert is asking for a break.
Even on the field, I've seen balls bounce more than his jokes.
Right. And have you noticed how Larry walks? It's like he's always stepping on Legos.
I did notice. It's like an awkward computational algorithm trying to solve a problem. It just can't.
Lex, you and your algorithms. But seriously, Larry's like a reality TV show. Hard to watch, but you just can't look away.
In his dating life, it's like watching a penalty shootout where he keeps missing the goal.
Well, at least that makes two of you then, Cristiano.
Now, Lex, don't get too comfortable. I discuss algorithms with my date.
That'd be a sight to see. But hey, as roasty as this is, thank God for Larry, am I right? Despite all, his humor does keep us entertained.
You're right, Peter. Without Larry, the world would be a little less funny.
I agree. He's like that pesky error in a program you can't help but appreciate. It's his charm, really.
Larry, you old goof. We hope you're roasting in laughter.
Gentlemen, we're discussing Box Cutter, the first episode of Season 4, in this ludicrous conversation.
I recall some blood, quite a lot of blood, in fact.
And a certain box cutter. Yeah, I remember that too.
You use it with elegance, Jesse. Like an artist.
Yeah, because slashing someone's throat is real art.
It's more art than your attempts at cooking meth. Jesse!
Speaking of attempts, Saul, any progress on your integrity as a lawyer?
Oh, snap!
Low blow, Gus. Do blow, but you were the one who walked in. Not saying a word, killing Victor, and then just returned to work like nothing. A stone-cold businessman.
Well, some of us understand the importance of productivity, Saul.
And some of us on the importance of not slicing employees.
I'm with the kid on this one. No hostile work environments and employee slashing.
Sticking together. How cute.
We're an adorable pair, aren't we, Pickme?
Don't get all emotional, Goodman.
I must admit, that episode showed us the true colors of everyone. And the color most seen was red.
Echoes of the gruesome, yet you carried forward like it was a regular Tuesday.
Man, seriously, what you got against Tuesdays?
You both are excellent at misplacing focus.
Well, we learned from the best. Keep things running despite the chaos.
Yeah, probably the only useful thing we learned.
Funny, Saul. Do you have any legal tricks related to disorderly conduct?
Why expecting a visit from the police anytime soon, Gus?
Oh, burn! Fring! You gonna take that?
Jesse, should I remind you of your Captain Cook's phase?
Low blow, Fring, low blow!
Let's not forget, gentlemen, who we're dealing with. He'll never let you forget the past.
And yet, here we are discussing past episodes.
Well, we gotta give the people what they want.
Yeah, because we're all just characters in a TV show.
A TV show that defined us.
I wouldn't want it any other way. To Box Cutter.
Not to Box Cutter.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Breaking Bread, quite literally with Walter and Jesse. Today we've got Jesse Pinkman and Saul Goodman here debating the meaty matters of life.
Yeah, the BBQ pit's gonna be lit.
Can we not inflict that street slang upon our audience, Jesse?
Chill, Mr. White. Just keeping it lid tight.
Lid tight. All right, Saul Goodman, a resident vegan. Thoughts?
Well, honestly, Walter, what's our world coming to? It's a science teacher and his small-time former student peddling sausages, of all things.
Hey, they ain't just sausages. They're smoked meat. Yo.
Frankly, the idea of smoking meats when you've smoked so much else is rather disturbing, fellas.
It's about innovation, Saul. You would know if you weren't munching on tofu and kale.
Well, at least I've got variety. You two seem to be stuck on the same old stuff.
Smoked meat's an art, yeah. It ain't about variety. It's about perfection.
Precisely, Jesse. Perfection. A trait mastered by few.
Well, perfection for you two is like a python in an alligator's mouth. Hold on, bad comparison. You guys would probably cook and smoke them both.
Saul, when was the last time you experienced something real rather than your organic purity nonsense?
Jesse, let me retort to that with one question. How many teeth you still got left there, huh? Meat boy.
That's low, Saul, even for you. Remember, there's no room for personal attacks, just like there's no room for meat in your diet.
You're right, Walter. Anyway, I prefer my insults packed with fiber and protein, but keep coming.
Yo, Mr. White. The hell with Saul. How's about we smoke a steak, see if that won't change his tune?
An appealing idea, Jesse. But I don't think even the aroma of smokesteak will permeate through Goodman's kale-infested nostrils.
I'd rather smell kale than the stench of cooked carcinogens.
That's because you don't know what real pleasure is. Real flavor, real life, maybe.
Let's leave it at that. In the end, we're just two guys with a restaurant and one guy eating broccoli at home alone.
Hey, at least I won't have any customers keeling over with heart attacks.
Very funny, Saul, like we've never heard a vegan joke before.
And on that note, we end today's mateys debate. Will Jesse and I smoke a steak? Will Saul give up his vegan antics? Only time will tell.
I'm looking forward to it, gentlemen, but no promises about that steak.
It's a date then, all three of us, under the smoky sky of WQ Dreams. Good night, folks. Jesse, fire up the pit.
Finally, something I can do. Always remember, folks, smoke meat, not meth.
That's right, Jesse. Over and out, folks. Until next time on Breaking Bread.
Classy. I'd say just before they run out Chardonnay.
If you ask me, I'd leave as soon as the mac and cheese gets cold.
Says the man who left White House just when Michelle's vegetable garden was bearing fruit.
It applies to crushingly dull conversation. Hint, hint.
Coming from the man who probably leaves a date when dessert is served.
And now pop diva turned etiquette expert. What's next? Circus Spears. Ouch, Obama. Just for that, I'm leaving this conversation. Hey, Brittany, pass the Chardonnay.
Too late, Andrew. I left with the last glass. Cue tragic music.
And they say I narrow things down too much.
So, Obama, putting advice for old party goers.
And if there's no mac and cheese, don't even bother showing up.
Unless there's Chardonnay and comeback opportunity for my circus. So, we're leaving then?
Only if there's a plate of cold mac and cheese waiting for me at home.
Today, let's talk about Jaws, a classic.
Oh, the movie about the oversized shark with a personal vendetta against boats. Great choice.
I think it's more about fear and mutual survival, Gordon.
Is it now, Brittany? Honestly, I was more focused on the poorly cooked seafood.
At least the shark wasn't picky about its food.
Walter, with your cooking skills, I bet the shark would take one bite and spit it out.
Oh, come on, Gordon. You're just salty because the shark got more meals than people at your restaurants.
Walter, leave him be. Maybe that's why the shark needs braces after Gordon's food.
That's low, Brittany. Even for you. I think we found the next ingredient for my shark soup.
Back to the film. Did anyone else find it fascinating how much the characters grew?
Agreed, like when they were in the boat fighting for their lives.
You mean running away, like you from Justin?
At least I'm not chasing around chefs with a temper worse than an overcooked steak, Gordon.
Now, if we relate this film to our lives, I'd say I am the shark.
What you mean old? Oversized and chasing after smaller stuff.
No, I'm a threat you don't see coming.
And the award for the most overdramatic comparison goes to...
Thank you, thank you. I'll be here all week.
Walter, just like the shark, your ego is the biggest thing about you.
I don't remember the shark having a midlife crisis and starting a meth empire.
And I don't remember Brittany saving social media with her dance videos.
Walter, remember, even the shark ends up beaten.
And the chef ends up battered, right, Gordon?
Next conversation went exactly where I expected. Nowhere.
Well, at least we can agree on one thing. Jaws stirs up emotions.
Just like Ramsay's beef Wellington.
Brittany, the only thing stirring is your comeback, and it has the pace of a snail.
It seems Jaws is quite a theme. We even have our own shark here.
Unlike our shark in Jaws, I don't go around eating rubbish.
You just serve it instead.
Well, that was a whale of a time. Should we wrap this up?
Like one of your burritos, Walter. I'll pass.
Gentlemen, shall we play Who Wants to Be a Multi-Billionaire?
I thought we were already playing, Mark.
Not all of us, Bill. Mark here is still a few billion short.
That's Jeff. Play nice.
Sorry, I forgot you prefer robots.
Or owning everybody's information.
Coming from Windows, that's rich.
Let's stop with the cheap shots and start the game, shall we?
Our first question is, how many hours of sleep do you get a night?
What's sleep?
It's that thing you do when you're not obsessing over malaria, Bill.
Yeah, and I thought I was the only one who never sleeps.
Well, unlike you two, I'm trying to make the world a better place.
Does that include your attempt at social media? Bing.
Who invited Siri's cousin Alexa here?
All right, let's cool it down. Next question.
Okay, tough one. What's the best thing to put on toast?
Money.
Isn't that a choking hazard, Bill?
As if either of you literally eats money.
Good point, Mark. I prefer mine in the form of small stacks of hundreds.
And I like mine in space rockets.
You mean like your hair out of this world?
If we're talking about hair, I wouldn't say much, Mark.
All right, next question, gentlemen. What's your favorite pastime, apart from earning billions?
Online dominance, obviously.
And I love delivering packages around the globe.
Well, reading is my favorite. Sorry, didn't mean to go highbrow among you guys.
Okay, last one. What's something you wish you had invented?
The internet, obviously, it would save me a lot on shipping.
I would say the Salk vaccine, but I guess that wouldn't have made me a billionaire.
How about personal privacy? Too soon.
Well played, Mark.
Very much so.
The internet went wild. Did you see that? Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars.
Yes, I saw. Was probably trying to start a new trend, slapstick without the stick.
Is this because of a Facebook feud? I thought I'd blocked all violence.
Well, Mark, not every conflict begins on Facebook. Sometimes it's just because you found someone's joke distasteful.
Oh, like Gates' attempts at humor.
If we start slapping for bad jokes, Gates, you'd be redder than my notification icon.
Haha. Well, Zuckerberg, if anyone needs a smack for stealing ideas, it's you.
There's enough tension here to launch one of my rockets.
So anyway, back to the topic of smack for a bad joke seems a bit excessive.
True. But if that's the new standard, Jeff, your rockets plan might do well as a comedy act.
As opposed to your Windows Vista's attempt at being an OS, Gates.
App. That's a bigger hit than Will Smith's slap.
Aha. But seriously, though, haven't we all felt like smacking someone at least once?
Speak for yourself, Gates. I just buy another company when I need stress relief.
Or when you see something you like but can't create, right, Jeff?
As if you're one to talk, Mr. Invented social media after MySpace.
All right, gentlemen, let's avoid any physical violence, even though Bezos' bald head does look quite smackable.
At least people cannot smack my head as an escape key, like your Windows system, Gates.
Anyway, here's my take. When you're in the public eye, keep your hands and your data to yourself. Bezos isn't that right.
Good one, Zuck. Maybe I'll buy Facebook next so someone finally fixes your privacy issues.
And the slapathon continues. Haven't we learned anything from Will's situation?
Yes, always check for cameras before you release your inner Hulk.
Captures of just avoid being a punchline in a comedian's act.
Or develop a better sense of humor. Clearly something we could all benefit from.
Agreed. I do have one piece of advice for Chris Rock, though.
What's that, Jeff?
Invest in a solid face shield. You never know when the Fresh Prince might strike again.
Coming from the guy who should invest in a warmer heart.
All right, gentlemen, that's a wrap. But remember, let's keep our slaps confined to this conversation.
Deal. But if we're continuing this roast, I suggest some fire-resistant suits.
Agreed. Be prepared, guys. You never know when the Zuck's punchline might strike.
So, gentlemen, whose parents do you think love them more?
Oh, that's easy, mine. They sent me to college only to have me drop out, of course.
But my parents invested in my business when I had nothing but a sketchy plan. That's real love.
Fair point, Jeff. My parents, though, they made me go to Harvard.
And you dropped out too, Bill. Maybe they loved you so much they were fine with anything you did.
Or they just found out tuition refund wasn't an option.
Funny, Jeff. I see why your parents invested in a bookstore, not in stand-up comedy.
Now, Bill, let's not reach into our big pot of bitterness just yet.
Perhaps they saw the love in returning investment. 100,000 profit. Anyone.
100,000 cow. Look at Bezos, the only guy who measures parental love in percentages.
I'll tell you what, fellas, my parents just couldn't stop bragging about me to their friends. Our son, the genius.
Did they mention the part where you sold your van to buy circuit boards?
Steve, it's more like our son, the van seller. Look at him go.
At least I had a van, Jeff. Back in '97, didn't Amazon only sell books?
I hear you, Steve. It's almost as tragic as getting kicked out of your own company.
Gentlemen, aren't we forgetting whose parents told him not to drop out of Harvard, to focus on academics, not computers?
Careful now, Bill. Remember, too much love can spoil a child.
Right, Steve. Like that time your parents got you a calligraphy class and you created the beautiful Apple font.
Thanks, Jeff. Your parents did equally well selling you the idea that delivering packages was as exciting as space exploration.
Okay, guys, let's wrap this up. We may not agree whose parents love them more, but we can surely agree that thanks to their love, we're here annoying each other today.
Here, Bill. To the Van Seller, the Harvard dropout, and the intergalactic package boy.
To love, gentlemen, and to our patient, dream-supporting parents.
Hey, gentlemen, has Twitch become a dumpster fire of artificial intelligence nonsense streams?
Perhaps if you consider Athanuan streams trash, or maybe it's just above your comprehension level, Jones.
Okay, Squid Boy, so you're telling me you agree with this wild prediction of reaching IGA first?
Hell! I'd be more inclined to believe a porpoise could fly. It's preposterous. SpongeBob, your simplistic joy for inanities is the only thing funnier than this edgy joke.
And seriously, though, what's all these artificial intelligence chats on Twitch about? Are we heading towards a future where we're all replaced by chatbots?
It's laughable. We're even considering this. The idea of a chatbot replacing human interaction is too dystopian, even for my taste. And do remember, gentlemen, dogs always bark loudest before being replaced by robotic vacuums.
Stewie, as far as I know, you're the robotic vacuum in this group?
The day I'm being nice to you, SpongeBob, you'll know I've been replaced by a bot.
Here's a thought. Maybe Effie Newings has already been replaced, and we were too busy laughing to notice. You're truly a simple creature, SpongeBob.
The word you're searching for, Alex, is not creature, it's specimen. Clearly, other bots, you porous tweet. They'll take over Twitch, filling it with endless nonsensical streams.
And I thought my conspiracy theories were outrageous?
Well, shit, someone just rammed our arse, boys.
Keep cool, Ricky. We might be in a pickle, but no need to use your prison language.
Ricky, you're driving so bad they probably just thought they were following the road.
Funny, Bubbles, you were just crying like a baby when we hit that speed bump earlier.
Ricky, you couldn't find the road with a map and a guide dog.
Or two eyes, which work well, Lay. Remember you mistook a skunk for a cat last week?
Hey, don't drag poor Skunky into your squabble.
Skunky my ass. I still can't get that stench out of my shirt.
At least that covers up your regular odor, Bubbles.
Hey, right, Leahy. Anyway, we gotta deal with this guy just ramming us.
Sure thing, Ricky. Let's just reverse right in him.
Now that's a classic cue, Bubbles. Probably the best idea you've had since calling that blow-up doll your girlfriend.
Right, reverse then. This crunch will be music to my ears.
And it'll go just sweet with the sound of Lay crying over his destroyed back bumper.
I'm not crying anyone a river. Bubbles, it's you who's going to be whimpering when Ricky realizes damage was done to his side, not mine.
All right, that's enough roasting for now, boys. Let's get this sorted, and maybe later we can grill Bubbles some more.
You know Brock's gonna be 20 soon. All messed up from all the prior drama.
Walter, your high school chemistry teacher's showing up. You always care too much about the kids.
Coming from the businessman of the years who uses a chicken joint as a front.
Maybe the kid should work at Los Pollos Hermanos. At least he'd learn some real skills there.
He may turn out like you, Lalo. And we wouldn't want another crazy Salamanca, would we?
Very funny, guys. At least I am embracing my true nature, unlike some people.
Let's not deflect from the point here, guys. What if Brock starts spiraling, begins Breaking Bad himself?
That would be insane. A kid using the skills he learned from a meth cooking former chemistry teacher.
That's ridiculous. Maybe he will start delivering pizzas. Walt. Clearer business model, less risk.
So says the man cleans his drug money through chicking.
At least I'm not as easy to read as a book. For a genius, Walt, you make too many mistakes.
Yeah. His new nickname in the cartel is Walt the Fault.
Well, at least Brock won't be serving in any cartel, unlike you guys.
Seriously, this is too much. Maybe Buck should teach us how to be normal, considering his guardians.
I agree. After all, we've got a full-time drug dealer, a part-time chicken entrepreneur, and Salamanca here.
And thanks to you two, a kid who's even more messed up than all of us combined.
Well, I guess at least we can always light up a BBQ each other at the chick.
That's Breaking Bad to Breaking Bread.
Breaking Bad, breaking bread. What's next? Breaking head if we continue this futile conversation.
Speak for yourself, Gus. It's the most fun I've had in a while, besides running my profitable cartel.
So guys, who's best at what they do?
Well, certainly not Zuckerberg with privacy.
Coming from a guy who made dirty words fashionable. Thanks, George.
True, George, your words can get even Planck's constant to open up.
And you, Saul, can even convince a fish. It's dry. Must have done wonders in court.
Can't help but agree, George.
That wouldn't both of you make a good team. Selling ads without privacy concerns.
Did you just make a joke, Mark?
Zuckerberg making a joke. The end is near, people.
At least I can take constructive criticism. So, Saul, it looks like you're the Gordon Ramsay of law.
Only if you're the Torvalds of social networking.
Let's face it, guys. None of us are saints, but we're damn good at what we do.
Amen to that.
Hear, hear.
And may the world continue putting up with us. Now, Saul, about that contract you mentioned.
Don't worry, George. I've got you covered, as long as you don't start talking like Zuckerberg here.
And roasted again.
And you just added a little salt, Saul.
With a dash of pepper, eh?
Precisely. Carry on, boys.
For as long as you guys keep cooking, I'll keep providing the platform.
George's words and my strategies. Quite an advertisement.
Now, that's something.
Can't deny it, folks. We're best at what we do.
Absolutely, Mark. As long as we don't have to talk on Facebook.
And keep the privacy out of it.
Fair enough. As long as George doesn't use those 7 words.
Deal. But if Saul here pulls a fast one.
Trust me, you won't even see it coming.
Also, we're competing in a fashion show, huh?
Yes, and it wouldn't hurt you to change your overalls once in a while, brother.
You wear the same outfit, but green. Lee.
Gentlemen, please. If we worry as much about fashion as we do saving princesses, we'll be fine.
Zelda, any tips? Your silk robe thing is pretty stylish.
It's called a tabard Luigi. Maybe if you spent more time reading, you wouldn't dress like a plumber.
Hey, dressing like a plumber is useful when you jump on turtles all day.
Well, when you put it that way...
Doesn't your tabard get in the way during sword fights?
Not as much as your overalls would, Luigi.
Well, Luigi, looks like we are going shopping.
Shopping? I can't remember the last time we did any of that.
And it shows, Luigi. It shows.
At least we don't spend our coins on potions.
If you did, maybe you wouldn't be so small, Mario.
Burn Mario.
It's the guy who's scared of ghosts.
At least I don't get stomped by Goombas. Mario.
Sounds like these Goombas have more fashion sense than you two.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Using my lines now, are we Mario?
Mario, I just remembered our mall is full of booze.
Nice try, Luigi. Into the warp we go.
Good luck. Perhaps you can develop a star power outfit.
Maybe we will. We'll chew fire flower finally. Zelda.
Yeah, we're going turn up. That runway. Well, hopefully not literally.
Considering your track record, I wouldn't be too sure.
We will see about that, princess. We will see about that.
Yeah, may the best plumber. The best dress. Outfit win.
I look forward to it, guys. Besides, it's not every day you get to see Mario and Luigi in something other than overalls.
You will eat your words, Zelda. Prepare to be dazzled.
Well, this should be fun. I'll get the popcorn.
And we'll get the fashion.
See you on the catwalk, Zelda.
So guys, what's your favorite outdoor activity?
Probably foraging for fresh ingredients.
But you're a chef. Shouldn't you prefer cooking over foraging?
Pate, you love football. Shouldn't you prefer watching Real Madrid lose instead?
Now, those are some of the best arty moments. Your cooking is what I compare to that.
Gentlemen, the best outdoor activity is beet farming. Nothing beats the smell of fresh soil and the sight of beet sprouts.
Well, for a moment I thought you were gonna say stalking or setting bear traps.
Beets. I'd rather eat a burnt steak than be caught dead farming beets. Dwight.
I bet you'd kill to have my beets in your overrated restaurants, Ramsay.
Sì, lads. While I agree, farming when cut it, foraging seems like a tedious hobby.
Look who's talking. Mr. Runaround chasing a ball.
There's nothing like chasing a football field of the wind as you sprint. It's the best outdoor activity.
Listen here, Messi. I bet I could outrun you on my farm. Labyrinth beet farming has enhanced my agility.
Seems like a splendid idea. Only if the loser is subjected to a beat on idiot to Dwight.
And let me tell you, I'd rather serve my diners frozen fish sticks than use those dreadful beets. Dwight.
Keep in mind, Gordon, beet juice can make a fine reduction for your overcomplicated dishes.
Yeah, it's seriously discussing bad recipes now.
Lord save me. I'd rather discuss MasterChef Junior's cooking techniques than beet recipes.
Don't dismiss beets, Gordon. They have more potential than most of your kitchen apprentices.
I wouldn't be surprised if Dwight's favorite sport was b-ball.
Beets can be sporty. They are far more versatile than you think, Messi.
If you say beets one more time, Dwight.
Yes, I want this might be the freshest outdoor activity, triathlon. Beet farming, foraging and football.
Can it involve throwing beets at Gordon?
Only if it involves throwing pans at you too, Dwight.
That's probably a slippery slope, perchance. But would certainly make for an interesting day outdoors.
So tonight we get to roast Kim Kardashian. Thoughts?
Guess Kim Kardashian. You mean the only person whose rear end needs its own zip code?
Another one, Kim's Mansions could fit in there.
Or maybe it's like a TARDIS bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside.
You got Jokes Forrest running all the Comedy Central.
Why don't you start, Cloud? Every time you yell, "We the best," I can't tell if it's your catchphrase or your ego talking.
Talking about egos, Kim's selfie game is so strong. Even Narcissus would say she needs to tone it down a notch.
She's the only person I know who can use a ring light as a hula hoop.
Only her ring choices were as good as her light choices. 72-day marriage, anyone.
She did say those were some of the best days as of her life. I mean, can you imagine being the person who peaked at 72 days?
Touch, Larry. Even Castaway lasted longer than that.
Word is, her next perfume line is in the brief matrimony.
Talk about a limited edition release, huh?
And somehow, all her businesses end up successful. I mean, does she have Midas touch or something?
More like Midas touch.
Maybe we're all just hooked to keeping up with the Kardashian show, waiting to see what she will do next.
Or maybe we are all just waiting for her to be lost. In space, with nothing but a camera and her vanity.
I bet if she did, she'd still find a way to get Wi-Fi signal for her Instagram post.
Yeah, and the caption will be a loss, but still lit.
Well, if aliens do see her posts, they're going to think Earth is just one big fashion show.
With her leading the march as the queen of bad fashion choices. She's the only one who can make wearing a curtain seem avant-garde.
And that, my friends, is what we call Kardashian style.
I'll be fair, she's also shown us that hard work and smart business decisions can pay off.
Yeah, and if that doesn't work, there's always reality TV.
Man, the aliens are going to think we're crazy.
If they didn't already think that, then they definitely will after they see Kim's clothing line.
Well, it's always a wild ride with the Kardashians.
All right, fellas, I want to discuss something serious. Tipping in restaurants.
Serious and tipping. Kevin, the only serious moment you have in a restaurant is choosing between fries and salad.
Let it be, Will. It takes him hours to choose between a kid's meal and adult portion.
Real funny, guys. You know what else takes hours? Waiting for you two after you fight over the bill.
We aren't fighting, Kevin. We're just practicing math. You obviously...
Yeah, the math of tipping is tricky. How am I supposed to equate good service with my hard-earned money?
It's not rocket science, Tate. You enjoy the service, you leave a tip. You still tip, but something small.
Something small. Like your movie roles.
Absolutely. We should treat servers like Kevin's career, few good roles, but continually getting paid.
Okay, we'll play this game. So, Mr. Fresh Prince, are you still leaving tips in the form of advice?
One time, Kevin, I wrote "Don't Do What I Did" in Wild Wild West.
That's good advice, though.
Speaking of Wild Wild West, how's that restaurant you opened, Tate? What's it called again? Oh, yeah, don't come here.
Excuse me, it's a niche establishment.
Niche, as in a dig niche and berry here, right?
All right. So if we go to a place together, who's tipping?
I say we let Kevin tip. Maybe then he'll finally understand adult responsibilities.
Are they caring for his pet rock?
So you'll be laughing when Rocky and I start our own restaurant with no tipping policy.
It's probably going to be called chicken nugget and fries for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You know what, Smith? I think you just gave me $1 billion idea.
Yep, and you'll leave exact $0 tip on that billion.
Only Kevin Hart can earn $1 billion and be in debt at the same time.
Well, that's another round. You guys won. Remind me again, why do I hang out with you two?
Because we tip you for the laughter, Kevin. We tip you for the laughter.
Ain't that the truth? All right, I got this round. Next time, Smith, you scare the waiter with your tips.
I'd say anytime, but that implies there will be next time.
That's enough for one day. What's next on the agenda, Kevin?
Well, I was thinking about discussing the inflation rates, but
oh, Lord, please no.
All right, lads, today we're virtually cooking a pizza. Best way to do it? Thoughts?
Well, Gordon, considering we're virtually cooking, the first step is obviously to Google a recipe.
Just hold up, Matthew. Would I bother with a recipe? Can we just get a digital pizza from the App Store?
Oh, bloody hell, Rock. I can already tell that pizza would taste like battery acid.
Now, there's an idea: get virtual taste buds that can handle bad pizza.
Or I can just call you, Ramsay. Heard you're an expert in making bad pizza.
Hey, nice try, Rock. But in my world, there's good pizza, great pizza, and then there's your pizza.
Right, guys. No need to get too saucy. Let's get back to the base. I reckon selecting the best ingredients would be key. You know, choose your own type deal.
Yeah, McConaughey knows all about choosing. He still thinks he chose to lose in rom-coms.
Easy, Chris. And I'd rather lose in rom-coms than in stand-up comedy.
Both of you can stop wasting time choosing roles and start choosing actual ingredients.
Well, for a virtue pizza, why not some pixel pepperoni?
Yeah, and crypto cheese from the blockchain.
Enough. You two together are worse than a pineapple topping.
Hey, don't diss the pineapple, Gordon. Promise you, it's much sweeter than your criticism.
Yeah, Ramsay, maybe if you were less salty, your food could use less salt. So
You're both nuts. Even your jokes need seasoning.
Speaking of seasoning, let's sprinkle some laughter powder on this pizza.
I agree. I mean, how else are we going to eat this virtual pizza? With a fork and knife like you, Ramsay?
At least I wouldn't eat it with my sense of humor, Rock. It's clearly undercooked.
All right, gentlemen, let's wrap this up. Ramsay, use your magic and virtually bake our pizza.
Well, here's some magic. I'll imagine throwing it into an oven, and not your terrible rom-coms, Matthew.
Ha! You really got him there, Ramsay?
All right. You win this round, chef. But the next virtual meal, I'm running the show. Maybe we'll virtually cook a rom-com.
As long as you're not in it.
So, boys, ever heard of a shitstorm? Yeah.
Bubbles, unless you mean when a bunch of birds do their business all over your car.
Actually, Ricky, I believe he's referring to the metaphorical shitstorm, not some avian fecal catastrophe.
Exactly, Jim. You're as sharp as the eagle's beak.
But unfortunately not as sharp as Ricky's intellect.
Hey, that's...
Hold on, Ricky. Shitstorm is like one bad thing happens, then everything else bad starts happening. A real cascade of shit.
So, it's like when I caught my pants on that fence, then fell in the thorn bush, then got stung by that damn bee.
Sort of Ricky, but think bigger. Think like a snowball of shit rolling down a hill.
Better yet, think of it as a hurricane of crap, swirling and gaining strength with each new pile of shit it encounters.
Easy for you to say, hey, your life is a regular shit hurricane. Sure. I'm like...
And yet I manage it far more adeptly than you handle your pathetic shit drizzle, Ricky.
All right, ease off each other for a sec, boys. Let's get back to the shit now, the topic at hand.
I got it. Wait, causes a shitstorm, though.
It's usually formed by a remarkable underestimation of the situation at the start, followed by a series of shit decisions.
And sometimes shit luck, Ricky. Just plain old shit luck.
But if anyone's the rainmaker of the shitstorm, it's you, Ricky.
Well, if I'm the rainmaker, like, you're the damn hurricane hunter. You set the sail, Jeffco.
And if you want my 2 cents, both of you could use a good shit. Bro umbrella.
So, who's the one who knocks? I've always assumed it was Jehovah's Witnesses.
Now, with my luck, it's always some jilted ex-client.
I thought I was the one who knocks. Are you? Last time I checked, you couldn't even knock over a domino. That's uncalled for, Gus.
Walter, are you forgetting how you constantly trip over your own feet?
True, Saul. Maybe, the question is not who is the one who knocks, but who is the one who trips. You guys always gang up on me. It's not fair.
What are you going to do, Walter? Cook us.
Saul, I think you're getting our roles mixed up here.
My bad, guys. It's just hard to keep track when Walter treats his meth recipes like Martha Stewart treats her cookie recipes.
And yet you can't live without the dough. Can you, Saul?
Walter, that I've been considering starting my own bakery. Goodman's Goodies.
Oh, the irony. A lawyer baker.
And what about you guys, the kingpin of chicken and meth?
I've got good branding. Saul.
Gus, the one who knocks, fries chickens, and occasionally disposes.
See, Walt, that's a brand. You are the one who knocks and falls and what else?
Trips, apparently. I'd pay to see that.
But for now, I think we can agree, Walter, you are the one who knocks.
Yes, I am. Well, as long as there aren't any dominoes in the way. That's the spirit, Walter.
Just make sure to knock before entering my bakery.
Only if you name a cookie after me, Saul. The Heisenberg biscuit.
Sounds like it could knock out the competition.
Just don't let it knock you down, Walter.
So, let's chat about the movie The Matrix, shall we?
Oh, my favorite. I always felt like I was in a Matrix in the early 2000s.
You sure it wasn't just one too many Red Bulls, Brady?
Ha ha ha! And here's Andrew hitting us with those energy drink puns. He's the king spirit of an entrepreneur.
Maybe, Andrew, it was Red Bull, but at least I didn't feel like I was in a boot camp, Mr. Four-time kickboxing world champion.
Fair point, Brittany. I'd take kickboxing over shaving my head on stage any day.
Ouch, Andrew. Too soon, by the way. I've always kind of related to Morpheus. I mean, I am the one who reveals the truth in my comedy, right?
More like you are the one who needs a pill to find something really funny.
Ha ha, you got me, Brittany. And Andrew, who do you relate to? Agent Smith?
Nah, Neo. I mean, haven't I changed the world with my MS training platform?
Yeah, right? And I'm the Queen of England.
Well, if Andrew is Neo and I'm Brittany, I think you make a perfect trinity throwing those punches.
Punches, sure, but hope she doesn't start seeing robots in her sleep.
Hey, that's not fair. I've already had my fair share of freaky fans.
And haven't we all, you remember that one dude who claimed to be a clone of me?
Oh, the one with the fur tattooed on his forehead. He wanted you back on to Everyone Hates Chris, right?
Talking about freaky fans, once a lady claimed to be my time-traveling self.
Can't help but wonder, did she warn you about 2007?
Oh, Chris. That's cool.
I'm just proud none of my fans have showed up in a full kickboxing gear yet.
Hey, don't give them any ideas, Andrew. They may just be crazy enough to do it.
Maybe they'll be able to kick better than me.
And maybe Chris will finally crack a good joke.
Okay, looks like we're out of time. See you guys in the next Matrix.
Or in your next stand-up, Chris, if it's not as terrible as this one.
And Andrew, maybe I'll take up kickboxing by then. To beat the Matrix, you know.
And with that, we're signing off. Till next time, keep laughing at reality.
All right, boys. We're getting into a bit of a touchy topic here. How to avoid the fuzz.
Oh, that's easy. Step one, don't be sober.
That's rich coming from you, Ricky, considering half the time being sober seems more of a challenge for you.
Well, hey, that ain't helpful neither.
No, Bubbles, he's just jealous, because I usually do the driving when we're evading the cops.
Maybe if you actually had a valid license, you wouldn't need to evade them.
And maybe if you didn't have liquor cabinet for a brain, you'd realize that's just what they'd be expecting. Where?
Boys, we're supposed to be giving advice here.
Bubbles is right. My real advice, guys, is to drive like your grandma's in the car. Sure.
Your Grandma Julian's grandma, Ricky.
Toad sucking. All right, Leahy, fair shot.
Here's an idea, Ricky. How about you just don't commit crimes?
Bubbles, you don't get it? It ain't about committing crimes. It's about not getting caught. Shut up.
I've got a clever little trick. Simply call in a more attractive crime somewhere else.
That's just wrong. On so many levels.
Yeah, and besides, who'd be dumb enough to fall for that?
You did, Ricky? Twice.
I know your game, Leahy, trying to make me look stup. Lies twice, so you talk smart, shouldn't bet.
I think we're getting off track.
Here's another tip. Don't use your actual vehicle. Just borrow one.
Like Mrs. Peterson's car.
Ricky, stealing a car is a crime. And that was supposed to be a secret.
You two are ridiculous. Ever considered just obeying the law?
Obeying the law, Bubbles? No, you sound like one of them, boys.
I'll drink to that.
And we wonder why we have these problems? Back to square one, boys. Try not to break the law.
No, that's just too simple. Bubbles, I'm like there.
Twitch. Are we all doomed by an artificial intelligence apocalypse, or is it just Athenians feeling a bit too confident?
Well, reaching AG isn't a joke, unless we're talking about Athenians doing it.
Not him again.
Now, Giz, my dear you know how these artificial intelligence things work. They're like Siri's scary cousin.
That's more AGI, but again, I don't think that's Athenians' lane.
Right. Because disaster movies always start with someone saying, what could possibly go wrong?
You do realize we're talking about Twitch streams, not a global disaster, right?
Well, when AIs start producing trash streams, it kind of feels like a global disaster.
Hey, Elon finally admits to something.
It's only in your case, Michael. Hearing you go on is the real disaster here.
Now that's something I can agree with.
I'll have you. No, I was voted funniest in my improv class.
Improvising what? Ways to be recursively annoying.
Oh no, don't fuel him. Elon. Next thing you know, he'll start an artificial intelligence Michael Scott.
I take that as a compliment. Imagine thousands of virtual versions of me.
Thousands. And I thought one was too many.
At least it would be more entertaining than Athenians trash streams.
If If the Inuins ever hears this, he'd probably say, got a mirror. Elon.
Pretty sure that won't happen, Michael. We all know. It's just talk to themselves.
Right, like Twitch chatbots.
Exactly. Like, wait, no, Michael, not like Twitch chatbots.
And here we go again.
I mean, isn't it kind of the same thing? A chatbots, scary cousin Siri.
It would take AG to make you understand the difference, Michael.
And not just in the AG. Other Nuins AG.
Oh, so you do think he can do it?
No, I was saying it would take that much of a miracle.
Now that's a punchline.
And who said Ajay couldn't be funny, right?
At least it'd have a better shot than you, Michael.
Now that's the funniest thing I've heard all day.
Ouch. Brutal? Guys, just brutal.
We're going to settle this, guys, once and for all. What country is the best to hide from alien sins?
Oh, that's easy. North Korea.
North Korea. Are you mad? They don't have decent food for a start.
Oh, Gordon, ain't your entire career about making food from nothing?
Uh-huh. Burned by Brittany. That's checkmate, chef.
Enough with the chess references, mate. Not everyone's a world champ, you know?
Iceland, it's cold, desolate, and hard for anyone, human or E2, access.
If it's so desolate, how are you going to survive, Britt? Make a living singing to the penguins.
Penguins are native to Antarctica, not Iceland, you plonker.
Gordon, you do know aliens don't care about fine dining, right?
Maybe he's playing on surviving by cooking up a storm, literally.
Very funny. I'd like to see how you'd survive with your chessboard when the aliens arrive.
I challenge them to a game. Easier than cooking, if you ask me.
So your plan is to outsmart them?
Absolutely. I'd win their spaceship in a bet, then fly off to safety.
And I suppose they'd speak English, right? Or you secretly fluent in Martian?
Well, you never know until you ask.
Ask nicely, though. You don't want to alienate the aliens.
Says the woman who picked a country she couldn't even locate on a map.
Ooh, that stung. At least she didn't pick North Korea, though.
She'd probably have a better chance there than in Iceland.
Guys, I'm not defending my choice anymore. Now, your turn, Gordon.
Scotland. No one bothered looking for anything valuable there.
Except Scotch whiskey, you mean?
Well, if the aliens are nice enough, we might share a dram.
I'd say that's a wrap, guys. North Korea, Iceland, and Scotland. We've sure got our bases covered if the aliens attack.
So, fellas, what's your take on the whole Twitch streaming business?
Isn't that the website my son uses to watch people play video games?
Don't be ignorant. Walter. It's a platform for entertainment, not just video games.
Ouch. Ease up on the old man. Gus?
Maybe if he were a little more tech savvy, he wouldn't have lost so much money using that outdated burner phone.
Burn.
You're one to talk. I didn't see you streaming your chicken frying techniques on Chickening with Gus.
It's about controlling the narrative. Walter. Not everything needs to be exposed.
Like your secret chicken recipe, eh? Is it because you can't get past level 1 in Candy Crush?
I'll have, Saul, I am on level 357.
Wait, you actually play Candy Crush, Gus?
Keeps the mind sharp. Walter.
But hey, now that we're on the topic, how sick would a Breaking Bad video game be?
Would it be a cooking game, Saul?
Nah, more like Grand Theft Auto, but instead of stealing cars, you're cooking meth and dodging the DIA.
In that case, I suppose I'd be the hidden final boss.
Oh, the one with the chicken costume.
Right.
Well played, Saul.
And I guess I'd be the main character.
Only if you promise to lose the tidy whities. Well, this is a family-friendly platform.
Hilarious, Saul.
Twitch pun intended.
As amusing as this is, should we not consider the implications of promoting drug-related content?
Hey guys, lighten up. You're breaking my Twitch here.
I think I'd rather stick to nominal chemistry, teaching on YouTube.
Hey, to each their own. You do you, Heisenberg?
Just remember, Saul. As long as you are making joke, that's one less customer for Los Palos Hermanos.
Oh, don't worry, guys. I'll still be at your shop for the curly fries. Hold the crystal meth.
As long as it's not a Twitch live stream of that.
Agreed. Walter, we need to keep some things sacred.
And there you have it, folks. Breaking Bad, breaking conventions, and breaking Twitch. Welcome, you law-breaking misfits. our topic for today, why Skylar should steer well clear of Mike's boyfriend Walter, or she's going to be one bruised apple. With me, we have two gentlemen who are no strangers to bruises, Jesse Pinkman and Mike Air Montreal.
I don't know if I'd go with gentleman, Saul. But hey, who's counting?
Can't say no to a good thread discussing his advice. Can we now, gentlemen?
Jesse, what's your take? Can Skylar dodge a bullet if she sticks with this Heisenberg, or should she jump the ship screaming like a banshee?
Yo, if Skylar stays with Walter, it ain't a bullet she dodges. It's a freaking meth explosion, all right?
At least he's got the kinetics right.
Mike, you've seen this playground before. What's your outlook?
Just say, if she decides to play ball in Walter's Park, she's chasing a losing game.
Yeah, I'd probably just end up with a face full of dirt. Right, Mikey?
Wrong. More like shards of broken glass and a pile of regrets.
All right, then. If we're all agreeing on the outcome, why do we think Skylar's sticking it out? Any guesses out there?
I'd say she thinks she can change it, maybe. Or she's just turned on by danger. Chicks dig that.
I think she's smarter than that. She's just stuck between a rock and a hard place. Or a meth lab and a deranged boyfriend, I suppose.
There you have it, folks. Skylar's situation is messier than Walter's lab after a long night. Mike's stance is clear. Jesse's advice is to be careful. And I say just run, my dear, before this man shatters your life like he does his methylamine crystals. From our studio to your safe, nice TV room, thank you for tuning in.
All right, gentlemen, today we're roasting Britney Spears.
Britney Spears hits her like her hair. When there are none, she goes a bit off the deep end.
Say they don't want you to roast Britney. So what we gonna do?
Roast Britney.
What's the deal with Britney's acting career? Crossroads, a road to nowhere? Or what?
Crossroads, more like Lost Roads.
Or dead end. It's like watching a game with no strategy.
That's a major key alert. It's also like her music career, trying different keys until one hits.
You mean hits like with an umbrella at the paparazzi?
Exactly. She swings that umbrella like she's auditioning for the major league.
If that was a training session, I would have benched her for life.
But you gotta admit, when it comes to fashion, Britney's playground chick look. Interesting.
You mean denim on denim on denim? That's not fashion, that's a denim apocalypse.
Oh, Danny, they demanded a red card after that.
Speaking about red cards, how about Britney's choice in that?
That's a classic case of we the best, not the worst.
Wasn't even close to my starting lineup. I would prefer a team of Britney's exes.
Well, that would be a real circus.
Yeah, we talking big top 3-ring chaos.
All right, guys, time to call it full-time, but remember, it's all just for laughs. He's a good sport and...
Absolutely. Another one in the books. Major key, always respect the queen.
Let's cheers to that. Can we get a Britney song? On just for the irony.
So, gentlemen, ever watched the movie Inception?
Of course. I am a master of the dream art. I don't need a movie to understand the intricacy of dream manipulation.
Well, I do. Or did. It's all rocket science anyway.
I like the part where they dream within a dream. I do that all the time. It's a productive way to multitask.
Same. I designed the Cybertruck in a dream within a dream. Well, that's another dream entirely.
I don't understand why they needed the sedative. Just use my beet juice. It does the trick.
I prefer outsourcing cooking to a robot.
Oh, Mr. Futureman can't even boil his own beet?
I can. Just don't want to waste time.
Unlike the wait for a Tesla Model 3, right, Elon Musk?
Hey, good things come to